Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to FX Maniac again. This is Syed Mahmoud Amiri and welcome to another really cool tutorial using Maya and Arnold. So in this tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to model, texture, and light a Pepsi can using Maya and Arnold. And this is the result that we're hopefully gonna create in the end for this tutorial. And it's a pretty cool object to model. You know, you have some. The tricky part, of course, is the top part. So we're gonna tackle that, and the rest is pretty easy. So we're gonna take a look at how to model and texture and light this in today's tutorial. So let's get started. So here I am in a blank scene in Maya, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go into the top view. And first I'm going to go do the top part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to view image plane and import image. And here I have a top view of this can that I can import here. And here it is. So you can see it is there right in the center of our scene. So I'm going to hit R and scale it down a little bit. And the thing is, you want to you can start from the side view, but like mostly when you model this, you have to start from the top view. So, whatever way you prefer, but I'm going to start from the top view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift right click and create a cylinder. Or if you don't want to create it that way, you can go create polygonal primitives and cylinder. And then I'm going to scale it up to match the size of the top. And I'm going to turn on X-ray mode. And the thing is, when you turn on X-ray mode, you can't really see the object because of the image is too bright. So what you can do is just select it, hit Control A, and go into image plane shape and turn down the alpha gain. So it's just a little bit darker. So I'm going to select the object and turn on wireframe so you can see it. And then I'm going to basically just move it in the center of this image. So that's it, and I'm going to scale it up a little bit. That's the thing. Control A, go into the poly cylinder, and I'm going to increase the subdivision caps to 2. And the other thing is I'm going to increase the subdivisions to maybe like 26, just like that, 26. And then I'm going to this view, and I'll just delete the bottom half of the cylinder. And then I'm going to go back into the top view and let's start making the adjustments. So I'm going to go into faces and select all these faces and scale them up to match about the size of this part. So what I'm going to do is just scale it up a little bit more so it kind of roughly matches. And then I'm going to the vertex view, and basically you can turn on symmetry, Control Shift, and going to symmetry, turned on, and basically when you select this side, the other side will automatically be moving. So it can make your life a little bit easier, but it's still okay. So you can just select one side, and then the other side will automatically adjust. So you just want to basically roughly match the shape of that part. So just like that, And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just like it just needs to be in a symmetry mode. So one side is accurate, the other side isn't, so it's okay. So I'm just going to move this so it follows the shape, and then just move it just like that. Alright, and then I'm going to take this and move it down. So we've kind of like roughly blocked the shape of that object. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these faces again and hit Control E to extrude it, and then I'm just going to extrude one more level to be able to create the inner sort of detail on this object. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to do it one more time, Control E, and increase the offset so it just goes that much. You can now hit R and like scale it to be able to match. What I'm looking for is here, this part. So you can match these, the part that goes in a little bit. So Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just roughly match it again, just move it down, and create some edges around these areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to vertex, and you can just like move it a little bit, move them down, like adjust them slightly. But I can add an edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift right click, multi-cut, and I'm going to cut from here to here to here to here, here, and here, and that's it. And I'm going to hit Control Shift and turn off Symmetry in this case, and select these two, Shift Select, and Shift Right Click, Connect. That's it. So we've basically roughly created that edge. So I'm just going to match it, like roughly. That's the thing, like match it with the that detail in there. So that's it, you know. So yeah, basically that's it. And if I hit 3, you can see that smooths it out. So what I'm going to do is go into this view and just select this part, and let's see if it is matching properly. You can see it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just roughly match this. So it's kind of like getting that shape. And I may even need to add one more cut here in the middle so we can get this detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shift right click, multi-cut, go from here, here, and then here, and just basically continue to create some edges here and here. That's the thing. So now I can just do it a bit more better. So just match it up properly. Select all these and just match it. So that's it for this. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically just adjust these lines, the topology and stuff. So the other thing I'm going to do is just select these faces, make sure that you're getting the right shape. So even though we need some adjustments, but it's okay. So I'm going to select these faces, hit Q to select, only select, not the move tool, because you can accidentally move some edges and stuff. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just extrude it in one level, offset it, so we get this, what is this? So I'm just going to select all of them again. And hit Control E, offset. Why is this edge moving? Do we have like 2 vertices here? We can just like shift right click and merge, even if there is 2, so we have 1. So now if I select it again, all these faces, I can just like drag select, and these, and then extrude, offset. Now it's moving better, but I think we got one more here. So the reason I'm not like skipping the steps is that I want you guys to know like the problems and the challenges you face. I mean, I can do it like the proper way and just skip all the parts and do it like show you the like the way to do it. But this is like the way I'm doing it is I'm just recording whatever it is happening live on the tutorial. So that will help you guys to certainly kind of like what I'm doing is like how I would approach this in a production sort of pipeline. So I'm facing these problems like now you can see that this edge, we have 2 edges here, 2 vertices actually. So what these are the real challenges that I'm facing. So that's why I'm like emphasizing on So I'm just going to select all of these 2 and then just merge them. So you can just move it, and that's it. So here, same with G, maybe here too. So we have 1 edge. So the thing I'm emphasizing is that like I'm just recording it to show you guys how I would do it in a real production sort of way, because you're not going to always get that perfect tutorial result. You're always going to face the challenges that are there. So that's why I'm showing you guys all the steps. So I hope I'm not talking too much, but yeah, you get it. So I'm going to select them one more time and just extrude them. And again, we have an edge here, I think. So just go back to edges. I think we have two of them here. Yeah, so merge. And that should be okay. Yeah. Why do we have two edges here? What I'm going to do is select all of these and just merge. And that's it. Maybe that'll fix the problem. So, yeah. Don't know why did that happen, but it did. So, you need to fix it. So, I'm just going to select all of these. Control E. And now they are working pretty fine. So, that's the thing. You always want to fix the problem. So, I'm going to offset them, and then I am going to, again, kind of fix some vertices so that they are sort of matching the outline of this object. So move these down because we don't have so much of a thickness down here, so I'm just going to just move them out slightly. So yeah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select these faces and just like shift and extrude it down so we get that little detail here. And the thing about the top of this can is that, like, if I go out of this mode, if I hide this, you can see that it's kind of like fading as it goes down. So that's what I need to do. So in order to do that, what you want to do is you just want to select these edges, the ones that are on the bottom, and just move them down so that they're just kind of like fading. So when you hit smooth, they're fading out. So that's the thing. And then you can just select these faces again if you want them to be a bit more deeper. So just select them and like all these faces. Right? And just move them down a little bit deeper. So yeah. And then you take those 4 edges again and you just move them down so that you don't get the thing, it just fades out. Okay? So that's the thing. And then I'm going to create these ones, the extrusions. So I'm just going to select and just extrude it out, I think. Yeah, that's probably it. So you can add an edge in the middle, so just do a edge ring, edge split. It will get a bit of a detail, but I think it's fine. So that I would say is okay for the top part. We can still adjust. You can see these curves are not too, I can get rid of this this one, just merge them again. Don't want to have triangles, and here too, so I can just move this down here, or maybe here, and move this here and here. Just make sure you're not having triangles. So what you're going to do is I'm just going to go to multi-cut and cut it from here to here, so we get an edge. The top part is really not that important because we're going to do that separately, but you just want to make sure you're not having triangles. So yeah, just move this here, and then I'm just going to select both of them and merge. So that's the thing. And yeah, that's basically it for this part. I'm just going to leave the rest, and I'm going to create that this detail right here. So if I just hide this little detail, so what I'm going to do is I am going to create a box or a cube. So shift right click cube and then scale it up and just move it like this. And the other thing I want to do is I just want to delete the bottom portion. So I'm just going to delete the bottom one and going to the vertices, just move it down slightly to the part here. Just going to scale it. Yeah, not that much, but this much. And then this is fine. And then I'm going to add a couple of edges here. So I'm going to select, and then I'm going to connect components and apply. I'm going to select this edge and bevel it so we get some segments here. Maybe that much is enough, like 3. And then I'm going to go to edges and just, adjust it as you want it. So I think 3, you can see that we're getting the effect. And then I'm going to add one edge on this side. So I'm just shift right click and connect, and maybe 2. So bevel it and just like that. So yeah, then I'm going to take the vertices and move these 3 up. Actually, they're in the right spot, but just the rest, just select these ones. You can turn on symmetry, but it's okay. So just move this down, move these 2 down, and move this one down. So that's a thing that you would, yeah. You can also like delete the half and then duplicate it, but it's okay. So then move this out, and these ones just a little bit in, or just this one. And make sure to match the topology, and then I'm going to just generally scale these like this much, and then just go ahead and just move these to be able to match the shape. So just like that. And I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast, or if you guys are not getting anything, just you can tell me in the comment section. Or if you don't know the basics of modeling in Maya, I mean, there are like plenty of tutorials out there, but if you want, I can do a basic series on like modeling in Maya, but I don't think it would be necessary. I think, I mean, if you guys want, I can do it, but yeah, so you get the thing. There are like plenty of tutorials out there. So that's the thing. And then I want to create this detail. So what I am going to do is I'm going to add one split here. So I'm just going to connect, and then one split. At the bottom we actually have an edge, so there's no need for that. Or maybe we do. Just hit G to connect it and move it down here. Yeah. And I'm going to need one more here, so I'm going to hit G and one here, so G. G is basically repeating the last command that you've done. So I'm going to select and match the shape of this object like this much, and this one, and then just move this down, move it to this side, and just basically roughly sort of match the shape. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna smooth it out anyway, but just have to be like the general shape. So yeah, that's a thing. All right, so we've created the shape, and then I'm going to select all these edges, and I'm going to just offset it this much and just delete it. That's it. I can still fix it. I can just still go and kind of like roughly tweak the shapes and stuff, but I think it's gonna be okay. So just make sure to do it as much as necessary. And of course, I mean, this is just a tutorial. I'm just showing you guys the way to do it, but you can put in some more time and add some more detail. But yeah, and for this one, I'm just going to kind of like cut a sphere and then add the detail. I'm just going to do it like simply. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add one connect here. So connect it and just move it up till we get a circular shape like this. And I can just like scale it out so it's just roughly matching the shape. And I can select this, straighten this out, and just scale it in. So it's just not getting too much out of control. I mean, you're not losing too much detail on the shape, so that's also important. So, yeah, and I am going to go ahead and like roughly match the shape of this too. So add one here, one connect till like here, and just sorry 3. You don't want to lose that too much of the shape here. So it's gonna go basically just like that, and yeah, and just basically select. First we need to of course match the shape, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect here, 1, 2, I need to straighten these edges, so just scale them, straighten this out, and this one, scale it, not this one, just that one is fine. So I'm just going to select this and just, just move these edges till you get like a circular sort of shape. So these are in line, and I may need to move this one out, this one out, and maybe I'll possibly need to add one here. So just like connect, and just move these vertices around to get the sort of the round shape. Or I can just create something for reference. I can just like create a cylinder, just put it in there in the middle, and just to kind of like figure out the shape, and just increase the sort of segments to be able to see the object, and kind of like roughly match. So I definitely need one here, so I'm just going to connect, no, not this one, just shift connect, and just add, just follow the shape of that object. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just needs to be close. And yeah, move this and this one. So we're kind of getting a sort of a circular shape. I can just bring this one here and bring these down. They're not like really in line with that shape, so I'm just going to just roughly match it. So yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to smooth out anyway, but it's okay. Do it as close as possible, and yeah, I think that's it. I think we've created sort of a circular shape, and I'm just going to delete this, and that's it. If we smooth this out, I can just delete this. I've created this detail, and in order to get these shapes not to lose the sort of smooth shape, I can just bring them in. So you just hit 3 and check them so that some parts are not going out or in. Make sure you maintain the shape of the object. So that's what I'm emphasizing. So here is our object. You can just now you can just go ahead and extrude this, and like not that much, but like this much. And you can add this detail, but I'm just going to leave it like this. So that will be more than enough. And I can just add some edges. You can straighten out these edges to, I don't know, I think they're fine like that. And I can add some support edges to be able to hold the shape properly, so now they're not getting sharp. So I'm just going to select one edge and hold Control, right click, edge ring utilities, to edge ring and split. And then I'm going to bevel it again and just We're holding the shape. I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm just going to go here and add bevel, just increase it, and that's it. And then the same thing here and here, and just, you know, increase the thing, and then you're getting the shape. So yeah, it's not perfect. We've got some problems here, but you can still go ahead and fix it, you know, and fix the shape of the object. Just try to match it as close as possible. And I think that's it. That's it for the top part. And I'm going to unhide the other part that we've just created. Just move this on top of this. And voila, we got this. Even though it's not looking perfect, but it's okay. We can just scale it down a little bit. And that I would say is okay. So I'm just going to go to modify center pivot and just move it up. This much I think is fine for the top. I'm just going to delete this, and I'm going to select this one and center pivot, and I'm going to create the sidebar. So for the sidebar, I'm going to the front view, go to view, image plane, image, and I'm going to go to the same folder. So here we are in the folder. I'm just going to go to the side view, and that's the thing. So I'm just going to scale it down to be able to match with that top part of our can. I think not that much. Just move it down so that it just matches roughly with that. And maybe we need to go here again, match it with this sort of. Yeah, I think how they are. Scale it down, scaled up a little bit more, and just put it here. So I think they are matching now. Maybe not. Maybe we can just select these two, you know, and just scale them down to match it. Yeah. You can see here, you can roughly sort of, yeah, match it, and that's it. And then I'm going to move it up. Yeah. And the other thing is, I need to select these edges and create the details. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extrude them up or out and up, just like that. And then just extrude it again, and then extrude it down. So you're kind of creating the surface too. So maybe it's a little too less, so I'm just going to move this up more, and then scale it out, and then shift scale it down. So I'm using Maya 2020, so you basically can extrude with holding down the shift key. And then I'm going to add one edge here, so I'm just going to edge ring and then bevel it here. Do the same thing. You can also go shift right click and insert edge loop tool and just add one here and one here and one to the side on each sides. And now we basically got the shape. So this is the shape that I want to match up with the soda. I can just turn on X-ray and just increase the size to be able to match it up with that, because we are going to sort of basically smooth it slightly and then move it down and scale it up a little bit more. So just match it up roughly. Just move these, except this, smooth it. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this edge and basically go from the front view and just, you know, shift drag it and create the shape. So I'm just going to drag it till here and then just like scale it, and I can just move it up to be able to create that sort of shape. We are going to smooth it out anyway, but it's okay. And then just shift drag down to like here, and I am going to just do one more time, shift drag, and then just scale it in to be able to create that detail. Scale it out. this side is important, so we're not just really focusing on that other side. And then just extrude again, shift, and then just like move it in, and just this much I would say is fine, and then the rest we'll just create it by our own. So it's okay. We don't need the image right now, so I'm just going to, if I smooth, or maybe we do for just the reference of where to add the sharpness. So you can see this one, I just need to right click and bevel and just decrease so that you get that. Just increase the segments and just, yeah, we need that detail there, and then here too. So I'm just going to double click and just bevel it and segment, and maybe this one too, just 2 segments. So I think we are okay with this, except for the bottom part. I'm just going to delete this. I'm just going to create the bottom part from our own thing. Yeah, we do need to get rid of some of these extra edges. So control double click and just delete, and double click and delete. Now, and same thing on the other side. Just control backspace, double click, control backspace. So yeah. And for the bottom part, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this edge and just like extrude it in, and then even more, I'm just going to extrude it inward just like that, and then I'm going to extrude it again. And then just shift right click and fill hole, and just select this, control E, extrude, and just offset it to get some detail here. We do need to add some support edges here. So what I'm going to do is just shift right click and get the, select the edge, shift right click, insert edge loop tool. So one here, one in the end. Just like this. Or if I go to the side view, you can see that we got, I think it's a little different. Let me see here. Or it's just, I think this part is just extruded like out a little bit. Yeah, just like that. And then I can just add an edge here. So insert edge loop tool. Where is it? Here. And 2 in the middle. So I think now we got the shape. So it's just, yeah, it's not like perfect, but it's okay. We've kind of like created too much of a curve here, so you can just select all of these vertices and just like scale just in a little bit. So kind of like that is okay. Yeah, this part is looking a little funky, but it's okay. So you get the idea, right? So I'm just going to move them all up. I think we've left this part. I'm just going to mesh, combine them. And yeah, so before we go into the thing, the texturing, which we'll be doing in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to separate out these parts, and because we're going to, or before that, I need to add one insert edge loop tool here to hold the shape properly. So yeah. I need to separate out these top parts and the side part. So I'm going to select, hit F and select all of these, I think, till here. Make sure, and one more, shift select this part, and these. So they're like the side of the can. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shift right click and extract faces. We're just separating out the, this part from the top part, top and the bottom, because we're going to have a different material for this, and we're going to have a different material for this. So this is it for the modeling part of this tutorial, and I hope you learned something from it. I know I was going a little quick, but I was just assuming that you have some basic modeling knowledge of Maya. If you don't, I can do a basic series on modeling. I'm sure there's plenty of tutorials out there. And we'll continue texturing and rendering this using Arnold in the next tutorial, so make sure to stay tuned and keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next video.